Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from France. Prayers and solidarity are being expressed from leaders and people around the world after Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris was devastated by a fire April 15th. Up to 500 firefighters battled for 15 hours to save the 850-year-old historic cathedral after flames erupted in the structure's attic about 6:30 p.m. local time. The blaze quickly consumed 2/3 of the oak roof and brought down the cathedral's 300-foot spire. Authorities said much of the cathedral's wooden interior was destroyed and its masonry was seriously scorched. At the Vatican, the Pope sent his blessings, and a spokesman talked of the significance of Notre Dame to not only Paris and France, but to the entire world.
The Pope sent this message to the Archbishop of Paris, along with a blessing to Paris and France. Pope Francis desires that Notre Dame, with the help of all in reconstruction work, will once again be this beautiful treasure trove in the heart of the city, sign of the faith of those who built it, Mother Church of your diocese, an architectural and spiritual heritage of Paris, France, and humanity. The Vatican spokesman also expressed his solidarity to those in Paris.
The
Holy See is saddened and expresses its solidarity for what happened in Paris. Alessandro Gisotti insisted that the Cathedral of Paris is not just a heritage for Catholics alone.
Notre Dame
will continue to be a place where all, as we have seen in these dramatic hours, believers and non-believers can come together during the most important moments in history for France. Cardinal Gianfranco Ravasi, in charge of pontifical relations with culture, also sent a message of hope. I was impressed to see many Parisians and tourists crying at what was happening. This shows that the cathedral, the great cathedrals, the great basilicas are not a pile of stones, but living bodies. The last pope to visit Notre Dame was Benedict XVI. He went there 11 years ago in September 2018. During his trip, he met with religious, priests, and deacons.
The La Croix daily newspaper reported rescue teams formed a human chain to remove many of the cathedral's priceless artworks and sacred objects, including the crown of thorns relic from Jesus' crucifixion and a gold tunic of St. Louis. Onlookers prayed and sang hymns in nearby streets as they looked on the burning cathedral. Vows and offers to rebuild and restore Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris are coming in from around the world, including Donald Tusk, European Council President, who said that he hoped the European Union's 28 member states would all help share the costs. It's also been reported that French businesses are offering to donate millions for the reconstruction, including $226 million from LVMH Group, which owns Louis Vuitton, and $113 million from Pinault, which owns Gucci and Saint Laurent.
Oui, c'est une tragédie qui nous a tous touchés, moi en particulier. J'ai vu ma fille de 17 ans pleurer devant les images. Enfin, c'est quelque chose qui nous a pris aux tripes avec mon père aussi, et on a voulu réagir tout de suite. C'est un défi absolument incroyable qui se pose à nous. C'est une obligation, j'ai senti ça comme ça, une absolue obligation de devoir reconstruire ce bâtiment, cette cathédrale. Et je trouve que c'est aussi, dans les temps qui courent, un geste aussi très symbolique. C'est un peu comme dans la création, on vient de l'entendre, de la cathédrale. Ça doit être une œuvre collective que de la rebâtir et de la rebâtir très vite et complètement.
Paris prosecutors said they had opened investigations into the cause of the massive fire and were questioning workers carrying out an 8-year restoration project which launched in January. In news now from around the country, Cardinal Joseph Tobin of Newark released a statement responding to the recent signing of New Jersey's new law allowing assisted suicide. In the statement, the Cardinal said that those whose lives are diminished or weakened deserve special respect. Sick or disabled persons, he said, should be helped to lead lives as normal as possible. Governor Phil Murphy signed the Medical Aid in Dying for the Terminally Ill Act on April 12th. Under the new law, which goes into effect August 11th, adults who receive a terminal diagnosis would be allowed to obtain self-administered medication to end their lives. And finally in the news, Pope Francis continued his series of Mercy Friday visits, which he began during the Holy Year of Mercy, by making a surprise visit to a community of group homes for Alzheimer's residents.
Pope Francis fulfilled one of his traditions, the Friday of Mercy. On this occasion, he visited people suffering from Alzheimer's in a residence on the outskirts of Rome. The residence is called Villaggio Emanuele. The people in charge of the center told the Pope it is a place structured like a small village, where each person is valued and has a specific role. Pope Francis wanted to draw attention to the conditions of these sick people and their families. This is because they are often abandoned to their own fate without sufficient social and institutional support. The Pope greeted as many people he came across and with much tenderness embraced as well as blessed them. He surprised these patients in the midst of their daily therapies. They responded to Pope Francis' surprise by showing him their affection. They kept repeating that this visit from the Pope was like receiving a miracle. Before leaving, Pope Francis gave them these gifts, a written blessing that he also read to them, and a painting of the Blessed Mother with baby Jesus.
And that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV network.